Good morning, afternoon, and evening, ladies and gentlemen. I, for one, am exhausted. I am dead tired, but my goodness, what a great episode. So, if you haven't seen the episode, because I don't know where Carter is going to put our reactions to said episode.
Yeah, we have.
Are you going to put them at the beginning?
I'll insert them wherever is right.
Okay. So, like...
in the discussion.
Okay.
We'll cover those.
So, if you haven't seen this episode, go watch it. Because if you are a Star Wars fan, this is absolute fan service at a high regard. If you're not a Star Wars fan, you are but you are a fan of the series. There are some things that they are showing you that just scream really good. Like, in terms of recurring characters, advancements in the plot, a twist that you might not have expected. So there's really not a lot that you can hate in this episode. There's a little bit, but not a lot. And so, without getting into spoiler territory, that's about all I'll say. Now, getting into spoiler territory, this is the spoiler warning. This is always a spoiler warning. You should have enough time to get away from it now. Okay, now they're still here. We take Mando. So we start the episode. I'm just gonna quickly run it. Okay, run through it.
Sure, go for it.
Mando takes Baby Yoda to Grogu. His name
is Grogu.
Grogu. Takes Grogu to Tython. And I like the design of Tython. It's funny though. Tython is a planet that there's nothing special with that planet. It's very, let's be honest.
I need to play more of the Old Republic game.
Tython looks a lot like any Granted, it would never be here. It wouldn't be here because our land is flat as hell. But, it reminds me pretty much any time we go to an American city. Just outside. You know what I mean?
It's kind of like Canadian Shield.
Yeah, actually.
It really is like Canadian Shield territory.
Yeah, especially around British Columbia type thing.
No.
Not too much there, but
it's more like Ontario than it is like British Columbia.
Yes,
British Columbia is actually
right
a lot more extreme.
Yes, but there's prairies. So they take them to Tython. Interesting planet design. Nothing special. It's okay.
Except for a cool rock.
Yeah, there's a cool rock formation at the top of the mountain, which I wasn't sure where they would use it, how they would use it. And they place Yoda on Grogu. They place Grogu on the Seeing Stone, which is just a stone in the middle of other stones. And then he starts the ceremony thingy. And now, we weren't sure where the plot was going to go, but this was actually, I would think, a smart decision by them. We thought this whole plot was going to be, and we kind of panicked a little bit, let's be honest here, on them bringing in, because we think it's Ezra Bridger.
Ezra Bridger, yeah.
Ezra Bridger is the top nomination for someone that is going to answer that call.
And
the next one is someone new.
And here is why.
Yes.
The reason being is that, you obviously... it's easy to say, oh yeah, Luke Skywalker is around at this point in time, but I think that's really risky territory.
Technically, Leia Skywalker is around this time, so you should be
I know, but this is,
the age range doesn't.
This is risky territory, though.
You don't want to connect too much to the sequel trilogy.
They've already season 2 has really made the Mandalorian a lot bigger than it was in season 1, and I think having Luke Skywalker in it, I think that'd make it too big.
Or it really shrinks it back. It limits it to you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think that'd be the best decision.
Well,
it makes sense to have Ezra Bridger, as the last time you see Ezra is when him and Thrawn at the same time get sucked away into hyperspace. So now that we know that Thrawn made it through, it's very, very plausible to assume that Ezra made it through as well.
Mm-hmm.
So Ezra Bridger is the top nomination.
Yes, and the other nomination there. So I would say I'd give Ezra Bridger an 8 out of 10. That likelihood. Someone New is the next nomination at 5 out of 10.
Nope. You know who it is?
Mhm.
Cal Kestis.
No, I give Cal Kestis third spot. Cal Kestis for me gets a 4.5 out of 10. Here's why. Cal Kestis should probably be dead by now.
Yeah.
Like, the odds on his... I'm not saying if he's around,
That's
it's
true.
not good. His
I
likelihood
already
of survival ain't
I
great.
already kind of put it out there that I was kind of hoping
Technically.
he dies in the second.
And then under that,
game.
and then under that is Luke Skywalker. I have at about 2 out of 10%. 2 out of 10.
2 out of 10%.
Based on Mark Hamill's age, and just
you know who
that.
he would be played by.
Yes, it would be played by Sebastian Stan, obviously.
Sebastian Stan.
I then went and I put Seer at 1 out of 10 because technically she's alive at this point, but probably not.
No.
Seer has dead written all over her on Fallen Order 2.
0 out of 10.
There's no, like, she has dead written all over her face that she's gonna die in Fallen Order 2. In my opinion, she should have died in Fallen Order 1, but that's something else. And then Leia Skywalker, which would just feel wrong. She is around, but it would just feel... I don't want to see Leia again. And I mean this with full respect to Carrie Fisher, but...
That might be why, though.
Yes, that part of it is really why. Like, because Leia was never a Jedi before she was a general. That makes sense? She was always a general before a Jedi.
She was a general first. Yeah.
Yes. So, having her as a Jedi first changes how she interacts with the world around her, as opposed to Luke, who was always a Jedi before he was a rebel leader.
Yeah, that's true. And also, I think it's important to mention that with, what was I going to say? I'm blanking on here. With Leia, I completely forgot what I was going to say.
That's okay. Can I keep going, though? Can I keep it going?
Yeah, go for it.
So,
Let me see if I can
Baby
remember.
Yoda, Grogu! So Grogu is performing a ceremony kind of thing, like where there's blue lights kind of, and Mando goes to try to get him, and he just keeps flying back. Yeah. And then, this is the twist that we actually didn't predict would happen this episode. I'd question how they would intervene the plots. I didn't know it would be like this. Actually, I did predict, though, that I thought he was tracking him, right? I think I did say that.
Boba Fett?
Yes, that he was tracking him.
Yeah,
so, we see the Slave One flying to the galaxy. And you can just throw in the clip of us right now. Oh, is that Imperials? Oh my god!
Oh my Christ!
Oh.
I talked about this like a while. Okay, I can't keep saying that. But like, so this is how they're gonna connect the Boba Fett plotline. Oh, it's the same ship. It's exactly the same.
Yeah, so that's how we react. Or if we haven't shown it yet, that's how we're gonna react.
If I have issues editing this and we don't have the reactions in, this is gonna look really weird.
Oh, you better make it so we have reaction.
Oh yeah, don't worry, I'll do what I can.
We actually did a full reaction video, and Disney copyrighted the hell out of it.
Yeah, we didn't.
The 90% of the video was literally copyrighted.
Yeah, the whole
The original video was 30 minutes and 45 seconds.
It's unfortunate.
The final product, unedited, would have been 3 minutes and 45 seconds. I checked it. It was like, oh
boy.
And most of it was just us before.
Well, you know what it probably was? We have like a glass door opposite to
Really?
the
You didn't think how loud the volume was?
Yeah, but we didn't show anything.
They don't care.
Except for when it's just shown in the glass.
Yes, but anyway, no. So Mando is confronted by Boba Fett in his Tusken Raider garb, and Fennec Shand, who is the sniper from the first season, they threaten Baby Yoda because he just wants his armor back.
Threatened who?
They threaten Grogu because they just want their armor back.
Come on, man.
I'm tired! I got to bed at like 4.
Yeah, whose fault is that? You wanted me to stay up till
I
5 a.m.
did.
editing the video, and I was like, I'm not doing this.
I did!
Go on to bed.
Wait. Don't do me like that.
Okay. Continue.
But anyway, no. So we find out that Fennec Shand, who is thought to be dead, has a lot of cybernetic in, like, cyber. She just goes like this, and it's just cybernetic.
She goes full Lobot in the stomach region.
Yes. Which I'm not opposed against. She's a good character. That sniper, I think, looks a lot like the sniper we use in Battlefront 2, so I'm totally fine with that.
I'm pretty sure it's the same one.
It doesn't, yeah, because it's not like the one like where it's Tusken sniper or other snipers where it just looks like you could shoot it once and then it takes so much time. It actually looks like it's
Oh, you mean the sniper that Boba had that he didn't use in this episode?
I think he uses it once.
Not the gun, no.
Yeah, I think he shoots it once. I think he shoots the first guy.
He mainly uses the other
Boba
thing to
Fett.
literally destroy
Boba Fett
Stormtrooper.
using that handheld weapon is terrifying because we've never. It's funny that we always talk about how dismemberment has a certain place in the Star Wars canon. Like when you lose a limb, it means something, right? I would like to argue that it also means something when you absolutely destroy the armor of your enemies. And Boba literally is shattering the armor when he's like,
yeah,
like,
a lot of people give
Oh!
like, Stormtrooper armor a lot of crap for how like it seems like they get shot once and that's it. The armor, like it just seems like the armor mainly protects them from the elements and that's about it. So seeing the armor literally shatter like plastic, kind of like
cool shot though.
Cool shot,
Cool
but
shot.
it really shows how useless that armor is.
So it all leads up to because Squadrons of Stormtrooper armor, like Stormtroopers are coming down in like troop transports to try to. And they have to
first order.
and then they have to come up the city, like come up the hill. I mean,
the city.
to get to Grogu. Yeah, I'm tired.
Hey, Grogu, there you go. You finally got it right.
Yay. But they need to climb up the hill, which is a lot because, as we all know, the high ground means everything. So
You're
naturally
tired.
they fail. Naturally they fail. So Boba Fett gets his armor back, and I like the fact that they didn't just put his armor on him. They actually let him keep the cool cloth thing he's got.
I'm not gonna lie, kind of would have preferred if they just gave him the armor back to where it was, but I understand.
He was kind of in a hurry, Carter.
Well, I understand why they.
So his knee has rockets.
I dig it.
I'll be damned. Like he literally went like this. You went boom, and we went, what? You won't see that reaction, but that's how we reacted. And all that leads to, like, it's handled great. I'm dead tired. But then, rip my boy Razor Crest.
Yeah.
The Razor Crest gets hit, I think, by a Star Destroyer.
Not a Star Destroyer.
A Star Cruiser, like a Star Destroyer cruiser class.
Yeah, yeah.
Kind of like the one that Admiral Constantine
It
had,
literally
right?
takes a very nice orbital strike straight to the Razor
Yes,
Crest.
the Razor Crest gets hit with an orbital strike and just blows to a million pieces, and it's like.
But he recovered the ball.
What? You see, as long as the plot armor was on the ship, they couldn't blow it up. The what?
The ball.
The ball, yes, he does recover the ball and the spear. And then, when we're just like, okay, good, yeah, they're stopping Stormtroopers. The Stormtroopers retreat, which I think is a very self-aware move. Because they suck. And then, the Dark Troopers come in, and I wasn't sure how they're going to be handled. They look identical to their look in Rebels. They look better around the shoulders.
Well, one thing I will say is that they are a bit darker than they do look in Rebels. They look more gray in Rebels.
Well, that's because they're just color palettes.
Yeah, but
And
see them in like almost like purge trooper.
Yeah. Also,
kinda
we should have.
color.
I hope we included the reaction to this. Watching the Razor Crest blow up.
Yes, we
Good.
have that. Yes.
Yes, we only have 3 reactions. We have this.
Boba Fett showing up. The
the
Razor
ship
Crest
showing up.
Yeah.
Because somebody wasn't allowed to be there in the decision-making process. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Anyway,
you were probably asleep.
I was probably half asleep, but I wished I was fully asleep.
Yeah.
Anyway, but no. The Dark Troopers come in, without laying a single shot. So Baby Yoda, after he's done doing this, Grogu, after he's done doing the ceremony, Grogu, after he's done the ceremony, he's exhausted because he's used the Force so much. So he barely even puts up a fight. If any fight, Dark Troopers snag him and just go. And I'm like,
Oh shit! Oh shit!
I think they're taking him.
No. Dude, you had it. Oh, great. Yeah, the jetpack.
Oh?
Wait. Maybe you're gonna take him out? No! No!
Is Boba gonna get him? He's got his jetpack with him. Boba?
That's really high, though. Oh!
no. Boba chases them down in the Slave One, but has to fall back because he doesn't want to hurt Grogu.
They can't risk hitting the child.
That's
Grogu.
not his name. Yeah. Missing with that Grogu crap. And then we pretty much Boba Fett says he is in his debt because he returned his armor, so he will help them.
Him and Fennec
Yes. Fennec Shan is in Boba's debt, so she serves Boba, and Boba will
has
help
to
serve Mando to get Grogu back. And then we cut to the last thing is on the Star Destroyer. Grogu is absolutely choking two stormtroopers and just throwing them around using the Force, and then gets exhausted. Yeah. And what's his face? And Moff Gideon shows him the Darksaber. And that's about it.
Yeah. The thing
And that's the end of the episode. It's really good.
The thing I remembered earlier about what I was going to say about Leia, when we were talking about who they possibly incorporate, is that incorporating a young Leia doesn't make any sense for a few reasons, other than the obvious.
Carter.
But the other reason being is that they have done this before, and they didn't recast her. They didn't find someone else to play her. They went fully CG. So do you think they would be able to actually...
The CG looks good
The
at a
CG
certain
looks
angle.
okay.
It looks good at a certain
The
angle.
forehead is awkwardly large.
There's one spot where the eyes really look like they're getting ready to change into Venom to take you out. But other than that...
The Tarkin CGI looks way better, though.
The Tarkin CGI looks way better, but I will say the Tarkin CGI is...
A lot easier.
No, it wasn't. It's funny. I think there are times
Just 'cause
where
it's
the
more
Tarkin CGI... The Tarkin CGI is the same the whole way through, but it stays at the same mediocre-ish. Good.
Yeah.
There are times where the Leia one looks perfect, but then there's times where it drops. Like so, Tarkin's is here, and Leia's is here.
How can you say that, though? You know why I asked that?
Because when she turns around, it looks exactly like her. But then when she turns her head more... She's on it for about 10 seconds. So in those 10 seconds,
yeah,
you
the
get all
back
nine.
of her head looks exactly like Leia.
No, Carter. Anyway, so this episode was really good because I think it finally tied in that Boba Fett plotline that we weren't really sure where it was going to go.
Yep.
It's funny. Ugh. This episode was very short. And we noticed that when we
Second shortest of the whole series.
Yeah, so we were nervous
From season
about
1
that.
or 2.
But it handles it very well. It doesn't feel like filler. It just feels like a twist in the story, so to speak.
Twisted filler.
Yeah.
Twisted filler.
This is something that I really enjoy. Of course, being me. But I like the fact that Moff Gideon keeps talking to that same female officer. I feel like that really helps continuity. It's kind of like when you go back and you look and you see the same officers, like that same Moff that was in charge of the Death Star in Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Where he's like, Lord Vader, I need more men. The fact that I keep seeing him all the time means that there's good continuity there. Like, you don't just need to, you're not just inserting a different Imperial, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're actually building them up.
Yeah,
too.
so she's a comms officer. I searched this online. She's a comms officer. I forget the name of the actress. And actually, if I'm being completely honest, I'm probably using the pronouns wrong. Or if I'm not using them right, I'm sorry. Let's just put that out there, because I'm not good at that. Sometimes it's very hard for me. But full respect for that actress. She does a great job in the role. She looks very believable as a female officer that has risen through the ranks, because she has that stone face. She kind of reminds me of Brie Larson, actually.
Mm-hmm.
But no, Moff Gideon's done really well. I do echo the thing that you said to me. If we're gonna ever see Moff Gideon have a helmet, I don't want it like an Inquisitor type helmet. I want it like. Would you want it like more like the Inferno Squad helmet?
I was about to ask. Would you want? I'd wanted something
like a TIE Fighter helmet.
I'd wanted something between like a TIE Fighter helmet, like an Inferno Squad helmet, and like a Purge Trooper kind of helmet.
Because he always wears that armor, right? Like, he's very different than a lot of other Moffs. Although, I guess, given I think he's the Moff of Mandalore.
Oh,
he would have...
He totally is.
Is there a chance that he's a Mandalorian?
I doubt it.
Like a former Mandalorian. Like how Gar Saxon was a Mandalorian who served with the Empire?
No, because they mentioned that he was no, because I'm pretty sure they were mentioned he was part of the Republic when they had the siege.
Who? Gideon. Maybe. It's worth noting though, actually, what this episode does as well is it says how Jango Fett was a foundling.
Yes.
Which is something we actually didn't know.
Yes. Now,
which ties him into being a Mandalorian.
And they talk about how they fought in the Mandalorian Civil War. Now this goes back to Legends, where
Legends no more.
Which is now
Dave Filoni is a genius. He's like, well, you're gonna retcon 90% of the fandom. I'm bringing it back.
Yeah, but like for example, in Legends, the Death Watch fought against a group called the True Mandalorians, and the True Mandalorians were led by, well, eventually Jango. And the only reason when Count Dooku asked him for a clone army, the only reason he wanted to have a child was so that way he could continue the True Mandalorian bloodline. And because Dooku was just kind of like, really, I didn't think for you to be the sentimental type.
Is it wrong that I never always connected the dots that Boba's armor was Jango's armor? I always just thought he had a different armor.
Nope, it's the same armor, just repainted.
Yeah, no, it's repainted.
But I think that having something like that and having them link this to the True Mandalorians, I think that actually fits this new group called the Watch.
Oh,
perfectly. Think about it. Their whole thing is that that they go back to the ancient thing.
Okay.
The ancient times.
Can I point out?
Well, I'm not done.
Go.
Ancient way. The True Mandalorians. Does that not sound like the most appropriate name for that kind of a group?
Yep.
Does that not sound like the absolute most appropriate name?
Can I mention the one thing that we really liked? You'll know what I mean. When Boba Fett says, because he asks him if he's a Mandalorian, it's like, he's like, I'm just a simple man trying to make his way through the galaxy. I'm like, that's the perfect answer! You passed the test!
Not the same line, but almost the same.
Yes. It's the same line as what Jango Fett gives Obi-Wan Kenobi in the second one.
Universe instead of galaxy. Just a simple man, John. Like I said, but closer.
Anyway, it could be the same. We might have just remembered it wrong. Mandela Effect.
No, it didn't. No, I don't.
No, but honestly, I think it doesn't get mentioned enough, but Tamara Morrison is Boba Fett. There's something there that you just recognize as Boba Fett, and it's so different than, for example, it is different than Jango Fett, because Jango Fett never fought with so much anger that Boba Fett's fighting. Boba Fett is pissed when he's fighting.
Yeah.
Jango Fett always fought. I always thought of Jango Fett as a guy.
Oh my god.
Well, Jango Fett's fight.
I have an idea. Baby Yoda reaches out.
What's his name?
Grogu.
What's his name?
Sorry, Grogu reach out. If Grogu reaches out, what if he comes in contact with Mace Windu, and then you get the Boba Fett Mace Windu conflict?
I wouldn't hate that.
No, but think about like if.
So what are we giving on likelihood of that happening? Because you said that, I'll give it a 6 out of 10.
I give it that too because I think it's more likely
Higher than Cal.
Higher than
lower
Cal.
Bridger.
lower than Bridger. Yeah, it has to be lower than Bridger.
Bridger's literally.
And if they're gonna
spot.
do this is not in season 2. This will be at least season 3 that they would put something like this in.
So then it can't be the first Jedi they called out.
Why not?
No, maybe, but I don't know.
Really?
It could be. Okay, could be.
Really? The former leader of the Jedi Council.
I
can't
do
be the
find
one there?
that fight interesting, although I'm not sure if that fight happens. If they fight.
Yeah, and
Or
then
not.
Samuel Jackson cuts his head.
It's really hard. But I mean, like, it's really hard to forgive things like that. And Boba Fett doesn't seem like the forgiving type.
Exactly. That's
Um,
why it'd be such a good fight.
so-
if you watched any of the Clone Wars, you know that Boba Fett is pissed at Mace Windu
Well,
for
Boba
killing
Fett
his dad.
fights with so much anger.
Yeah, they showed
and I
that
love
in
that
the
because,
Clone
and I
Wars.
yes, and here,
Oh yeah, well of course. He,
and I love that because. Also, let's be fair. Boba Fett's armor is not like any regular Mandalorian armor. Even like his armor is his dad's armor. However, he's tricked that thing out. Like Dave Filoni said, he's tricked it out to do a lot more than the standard Mandalorian armor.
Well, yeah. Well, it's funny. The armor. Well, I mean, technically, what it was supposed to be in Legends is that he wasn't even Mandalorian.
He was a super commando.
It was that armor was not even made out of Beskar in Legends until obviously.
Is it made out of Beskar? I never
I
understood
think
that.
it is now because
It's so not
Cobb
shiny.
Vanth took a nice good shot right in the chest and he was completely fine, made the same noise and everything.
True.
So
Well, also the helmet. The big dent on the helmet from Cad Bane.
Yeah.
Let's just admit that it's Cad Bane.
it was Cad.
It was Cad Bane.
I would love to see a live action Cad.
You know what I want to see though? Actually,
Oh my
You know what I
god.
also want to see? So
What?
they're taking him to the doctor, by the way, because he mentions that.
Yes.
I want to see him pull out of hyperspace with his little cruiser. Dr. Vundi.
Dr.
The
Vin-
blue shadow virus.
yes, Dr. Vindy.
Any Vundi. Anyway, I want him to come out of hyperspace and then just see Thrawn's 7th fleet. How would you feel if he pulls out of hyperspace and that's it? And Thrawn needs his own Star Destroyer, like proper Star Destroyer. Although I feel like they'd have to build that up more because I feel like the second season. I don't know if Moff Gideon makes it out alive out of the second season. If he dies at the end of second season, we're getting Thrawn in the third season.
I don't-
100%.
I feel like he dies season 3, but near the beginning.
Maybe.
And then
Isn't it nice that we can just admit that there's a season 3 coming?
And then you
It's
see-
just a lovely
and then you
world.
see Thrawn emerge as the bigger
hologram.
the
No, but
Well, I mean he looks the same, but
yes. So, honestly, the slave one looks amazing.
of course it
I
does.
love the designs that they show. The Ralph McQuarrie, it's McQuarrie,
Draw-
right?
Ralph McQuarrie, yep.
Yeah.
Drawings of Baby
I hear
Yoda
so
being
much of that.
friggin' terrified of
Yes,
the dark.
and yes. Also, Baby Yoda using the dark side of the Force on them is probably a good indication of why Ahsoka was like, it's Grogu, by the way. I messed it up. We both messed it up. We need like a jar. Like instead of a swear jar, it's like a Baby Yoda jar, and it's just like coins. We donate it the next time we go out to get drinks. Non-alcoholic drinks for you youngins and for you oldens, because we're
7-Eleven.
lazy losers, and he's underage. But no, like, Babe Grogu uses the Force choke on the stormtroopers.
Does that count, Baby Grogu?
Baby Grogu. No, that's just his state of being, and
He's 50 years old.
from a certain point of view.
Oh, don't give me that bullshit. From a certain point of view,
Stop.
Obi-Wan has the high ground in episode 1.
Yeah, they're on the south side of the planet. Planet's upside down. It's what I like to call the Australia effect. Anyway, no, but I like Grogu just using the dark side of the Force, and I feel bad for the fact that why did they think that they should put 2 stormtroopers really close? Because it seems like there's like an aura aware.
I find
How
it
much
weird
we-
how they just put him in a random detention cell.
Yeah, that
Like,
too. That seems a bit
You're
problematic.
like, there's got to be some sort of vent into there, right? Like, can he not literally sneak out in a vent?
Well, they need to get him out there. They just need to detain him. Anyway, I don't know how much more you want to say about this episode. I'll just say this: it was really good to see Fennec back.
Yep.
She's a good character. I like that she didn't do what I thought she would do, where they might try to turn her Imperial. Even though I do love me some Imperials, that's just me being a fanboy. I love the fact that she was introduced back as a sidekick, almost like a Sam Wessel to Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Because her armor is actually pretty similar. Like, that helmet reminds me a lot of it. Although hers was like this, and it had like a thing that was, like a bandana type thing. But hers was just the two pieces. I hope she gets that helmet back. I really like that helmet.
It's funny, that helmet is very similar to almost like a medieval jousting helmet.
Yes, very much so.
Very much so.
To be fair, though, if we're talking about helmets that remind us of medieval ones, every single Mandalorian helmet screams like a Trojan warrior.
Yeah.
Trojan man. I know, but honestly, there's not a lot to hate in this episode other than the fact that it's short.
Yeah.
I love being like, the setting wasn't the strongest, I'll be honest. But that's just me being critical, because if I'm gonna compare,
it's underdeveloped.
Yes, this setting is underdeveloped, and it's very, like, compare it to the other things that we've seen. Like, it's hard to make a setting always feel Star Wars when it's not an animation, because animation can do a lot of the heavy lifting in that regard. Like, if I compare this to the last time we saw a Jedi temple, not counting Zepho, on Lothal, I knew that was a Jedi thing. Although this technically wasn't a Jedi temple, it was a thing with a seeing stone. Which confuses me beyond belief, but I'm willing to give this show the benefit of the doubt because Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau have.
To be fair, there might be a Jedi temple there that.
Yes, there might be one under it. Because when they showed it and they showed like a circle around it,
maybe it has
like
a blender.
with the rocks, I thought they were gonna go in.
Maybe it has a blender. It's so fun.
God damn it! But Star Wars Resistance, the temple. I didn't hate it, but it just wasn't good.
It literally, it had a blender.
It had that Starship 8000 thing you used to spin on it.
Oh yeah, they spin at the theme
where
park.
you'd be like, oh look, I'm flying!
Stick to the wall.
Yeah, it was like that. Anyway, also, so I think we're gonna leave that video here. If you liked that video and you want to see more, please like, share, and subscribe, and comment down below what your thoughts on the episode was, as we would truly appreciate this. We'd also like to thank everyone for getting us to 60 subscribers. We are really thankful for that. We're trying to push to 75 by the end of the year, just to try to grow a following, stuff like that. We are really appreciative, both of us, even my silent partner here, on how well the channel is
You're
going.
just going to keep going.
We would also like to mention how thankful we are that we have finally gotten a tripod. So this is very capable. Like, share, subscribe, follow us on Instagram at No One Hockey Podcast. And I think that'll be it. Yeah. We are going to release a Rebels Season 1 review either later, like late today, or we're just going to film it and we're going to release it tomorrow, because we did watch Rebels Season 1 and we quite enjoyed it. So, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Again.